Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
It's an hour of comedy. We start off with the Milton Berle Show. This episode of Uncle Miltie is a salute to winter sports, and it was originally broadcast January 6, 1948, which, by the way, would be an Olympic year, wouldn't it? It was also an election year. So let's see what sports Milton has to talk about.
From Radio City in New York, here is the Milton Berle Show. With Bert Telton, Jack Albertson, Johnny Gibson, Mary Shipp, Billy Sands, Al Kelly, our singing star Dick Farney, Ray Block and his orchestra, and yours truly, Frank Gallop. Ladies and gentlemen.
Great ad-libbing.
Tonight we salute winter sports. Yes, the tempting sight of the recent snow makes you want to rush madly out of the house. We now bring you a comedian whose program does the same thing to you. And here he is, if you'll pardon the expression, Milton Berle.
Pardon the expression. Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Gallop, those winter sports, skating, skiing, tobogganing, and now in New York City we have a new sport, digging for your car. Yeah, some guy sold me a beautiful car this week, a white Cadillac. It was a beauty, till the sun came out and melted it down to a green Chevy. Everything is melting. They call me Milton Berle. Wow. Forgive me. Everything is melting. No kidding. Everything is gone away. I saw Martha Graham walking on Fifth Avenue. This week she's known as Miss Slush. Oh, what a week.
Berle, the snow is old news. We've had a sleet storm and flood since then.
Oh, that flood, Mr. Gallop. I know that the flood, the whole 7th Avenue subway was flooded. The only thing that kept running was the Bronx Express. No people in it. Just salmon going uptown to spawn. Oh, what a week. On top of everything else, there was a fuel oil shortage. Some apartments got so cold, landlords were allowing veterans to move in. My writers should move out. But sakes alive, Mr. Gallop. Here I am, running off at the mouth again.
Ain't it the truth, though?
Ain't it? Did you say ain't?
Berle, after a year on this program with you, I'm lucky I can still speak English.
Please, Mr. Gallop, I have never seen you so animated. What did you get for Christmas? Blood? But enough of this hilarious nothing. See the way I sold that nothing, N-O-T-H-I-N-G? We're discussing winter sports tonight.
Yes, and how jolly. I must tell you of the winter activities of my club,
Yeah?
the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Lucy Monroe.
Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Lucy Monroe. Oh, that's jazzy. That's really jazzy. At this club, what do you do?
Well, first...
Yeah, first what?
First, we went tobogganing.
No, yeah. I hate tobogganing. Don't talk tobogganing. Yeah, I hate it. You're squeezed in too much. The guy behind has to put his legs around you.
Well, that's true. However, this year I was quite comfortable.
You were?
Yes, the man behind me was a cello player.
I get it. But I don't want it. Oh, you mad creatures.
Oh, it was just too gay.
Lots of fun.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
In the evening, we all piled onto a sleigh. Andre Castellanos cracked a whip, and away we went racing over the snow with Lily Pond singing the bell song from Lockme. And Lily did a most remarkable job.
Remarkable. Lily Pons has sung the bell song many times.
While pulling a sleigh.
Mr. Gallop, you slay me. That was no joke. Snow laughs. Tough sledding tonight. So on with the program as we salute winter sports. Winter sports.
Leading in popularity among winter sports is skiing.
Skiing is popular because it's so simple. There are just 3 easy steps to skiing. Learning how to put on your skis, learning how to go down the high slide, and learning how to walk again.
Though 1947 was a great year for sports, the biggest sport of the year was and still is
Johnny Myers. Thank you. Ladies, no. No, I'll tell you when. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful audience here tonight. That's without my mother, too. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few... Oh, my ad-libs aren't worth the paper they're written on. Ladies and gentlemen... In just a few weeks, the Winter Olympic Games will start in Switzerland. And it is an honor to have with us tonight the coach of the United States Winter Olympic team, who in a few days will sail for Switzerland with the team. And here he is, Coach Doc Finster. Mr. Finster.
Thank you.
Coach Finster, how do you think your team will do in the Winter Olympics?
Mr. Berle, I have every confidence that my boys will grizzle green the entire Rapatan of a Strait with a Cormac of Not only will they always back on the Indusana Strait because I know it's a creed, but they are the only ones who have a cord, a strap, and a veritable track. Personally, I won't bet a nickel on them.
Well, Coach, I understand that you have enforced a very rigid training schedule on your team.
Absolutely. No member of my team is permitted to hibble snark. They cannot struggle what, and they must never nibble slide. And above all, they can't boostle up a dedum clip on a snub-dubby. They can't boostle up a dedum clip on a snub-dubby. They'll go nuts.
I imagine, Coach Finster, that you're all looking forward to your boat trip to Switzerland?
Yes. We were planning a 2-day stopover on the romantic island of Schmalman. But they're having a terrible epidemic of Klotzenstein fly.
Of what?
Klotzenstein fly.
That sounds awful.
Awful? There isn't a knubble left on the island.
Coach Finster, before our team goes into action, what will be your last words to them?
I'll say,
yes,
boys, go in there and show them what you're made of. Crumb-bite style. Put on your schmutter sacks. Lace up your perinas. Adjust your hemderholes. And go out there and slump. Remember, a bird in the hand is like doing the schnubberbeil. And remember the words of that great athlete, Babe Bigelizenzetz, who said, quote, play the game, play it square.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Finster. Thank you very much. Anybody that would like that speech should have their head examined. Mr. Gallop, the real winter sports were the sports of our youthful days. When on those crisp winter evenings we sat in front of the fireplace with that one and only girl and sang, oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Are you playing with your elbows? Cynthia. Precious memories of Cynthia. Remember, Cynthia, what fun we had in the snow? I'd be rolling snowballs to make a snowman. You'd be rolling drunks to make a buck. Cynthia, my outdoor girl. That winter air used to put apples in your cheeks, and every time I pinched your cheek, I'd get a handful of cider. Good audience, bad joke. Charming Cynthia. Remember that day that you came in exhausted out of the snow, how you screamed when I began pulling off your snowshoes? I didn't know they were your feet. You were frozen stiff, and I forced brandy down your throat, and you got stiffer. In winter wonderland with Cynthia. Remember, Cynthia, how we'd go coasting down the hill together, how slow we went? We went much faster after you waxed your stomach. A good belly laugh. I'll always remember the last time I saw you, Cynthia. It was the day Mayor O'Dwyer ordered them to clean up the city, and you were the first thing they pushed down the sewer. So until you show up in the Guananases Canal, I'll keep singing, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, what a joke.
From January 6, 1948, The Milton Berle Show on Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater and more of The Milton Berle Show now. A salute to winter sports from January 6, 1948.
Lovely, lovely. What you played of it, Mr. Block. Thank you. That was the Skaters' Waltz played by Ray Block and his famous blockheads. And, Ray, may I say that you were never better? I'd even go further. You were never worse. That's a joke. Never. And now, as we continue our salute to winter sports, we present...
Winter Sports Forum tonight. Winter Sports Forum tonight. The question... Where is there more winter activity? At Lake Placid or in the Paramount balcony?
Thank you, Mr. Gallop. Thank you. Now, let us start with questions from our audience. All right, let's start with this gentleman in the third row with his head in the mandolin. Yes, sir?
Mr. Berle, we want you to take part in our winter sports carnival. We want you to be a leader.
A leader?
Yes, there'll be 5 dogs in a sled behind you. March! March! March!
Thank you very much. But let us go on. All right, this young man in the aisle printing money. Young man, step up. Or are you on your knees? No, I'm sorry. Young man, what is your name?
My name is Kansas City Kitty.
Kansas City Kitty? You were born in Kansas City?
No, I was born in Georgia.
Then why don't they call you Sweet Georgia Brown?
Are you kidding? That's a girl's name.
I see. Where did the kitty come from?
My mother was a Siamese.
Oh, I see, yes.
So many people mistook me for a girl, I had to take a middle name.
What's your middle name?
Mexicali Rose.
All right, Mex. You have a question concerning winter sports.
Would you mind repeating the question, please?
I said
Never mind, I'm not going to answer it anyway.
But you said...
I don't have to answer if I don't want. My lawyer said so.
Look,
if you can't get laughs by yourself, why should I be a stooge for you?
But that's
you
not...
couldn't get a laugh if your pants fell after every gag.
Now,
you
wait...
couldn't get a laugh if you put on a lady's hat, pinned an orchid in your nose, and read all of Bob Hope's jokes.
If you
don't... couldn't get a smile out of an audience full of laughing hyenas that were being tickled by the ushers.
Please!
Your mother's galoshes.
Please, let us try and keep order. Let's hear from the women in the audience. All right, this lady in the aisle luxing her undies with Oxidol. What is your name, madam?
Tallulah Feeney, I'm a homemaker.
I see. And I see. And you have a question that has to do with winter sports.
Yeah. Why is my husband so nuts about skating? He spends all his time with the Scarsdale Skiing, Skating, and Skunk Hunting Club.
I see.
My husband's a champion skater.
Fancy figure?
He's a fat slob.
No, I mean, is he a fancy skater?
Fancy? You should see him do a cooch dance on skates.
Is he good?
He slinks on ice.
Slinks on ice, yes. I understand.
He's always doing tricks on skates. Once he started to spin in a circle and he couldn't stop.
What happened?
He screwed himself into the ice up to his neck.
Well, wait a minute, don't go away. I dropped the jokes. All right, where were we? Okay, yes, sir. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, kid. Wait a minute. My line. My line. Did you ever hear Berle say that before? That's terrible. What's his best trick on skates? You know, it'd be funny if this is an audition and we don't know it, kid. What's his best trick on skates?
He can do a figure eight the hard way.
The hard way?
2 4s.
I get it.
Him and those skates. He even wears them to bed. It's terrible when he sticks those cold blades against my back.
It must be.
It's like sleeping next to a good humor truck.
Well, that's dreadful.
You should see the clothes he wears when he goes skating. 5 pair of pants, 4 woolen shirts, 8 sweaters, and on top of all that, he wears a long winter union suit.
A union suit, too? How can your husband move?
Are you kidding? With a good stiff breeze hitting up the flap, he can get up to 60 miles an hour.
Thank you, Mrs. Feeney. Thank you. Hitting up the flap. There will be a rehearsal in the basement. if my pipes keep out. Now, let's hear from an expert. With us tonight is none other than the world's champion ski jumper. 240 pounds of greased lightning and driving power. Big Sven Featherfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Featherfield.
Thank you, Mr. Berle. This is indeed a glorious opportunity for me to say scolds to my many and ardent admirers who have seen me jump up north and land in many scattered sections.
Tell us, Mr. Featherfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Berle, do you mind if I sit down? I'm pooped.
You're tired?
On my way here, I picked up a peanut off the sidewalk. I think I strained myself.
But, Mr. Featherfield, a peanut isn't heavy.
Well, this one was salted.
Well, that's different. Mr. Featherfield, the sports world was very shocked to find that you were not eligible for the Winter Olympic Games. How come?
It was a terrible mistake, Mr. Berle. When the Olympic officials interviewed me, they asked, "Are you a pro?" I answered, "Yes."
You said yes?
I thought they said schmo.
Mr. Featherfield, there's always been something so romantic about winter sports.
How about that?
Yes, how about it?
It was at a ski jump that I met my wife.
You met your wife at a ski jump?
Yes. I leaped high in the air, and there she was beside me.
She was on skis?
She was on a broom.
I see.
And she's been mopping me up ever since.
Mr. Featherfield, you mean to say that your wife mistreats you?
Mr. Berle, when my wife flattened me last night, I had it coming.
Mr. Featherfield, you were bad again?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't be telling you.
Oh, come on. Tell us, what happened?
Well, last night she caught me in the pantry with a cookie.
What's so terrible about that?
This cookie was 18 years old.
Thank you, Mr. Featherfield. Thank you. You know, I kid you a lot every week, but your orchestra tonight sounds swell. The boys, they seem so relaxed, as though someone just told them that Petrillo knows what he's doing. Petrillo, there's a powerful guy. You think not? Even the New York snowstorm had to make its record before December 31st. And tonight, in discussing winter sports, I must tell you what happened. Last winter, Mr. and Mrs. Gallop invited my wife and me to spend a weekend at their winter lodge in Maine. And we all drove up there in our car. Dashing through the snow in my Chevrolet coupe.
Milton, watch where you're driving. You're in Maine.
I was looking out the window. I can't tell if those lumps in the snow are Burma shave signs or Republicans waiting in line to vote. Are we almost there, Mr. Gallop?
Yes, you turn left at the next Vote for Alf Landon sign.
Gosh, I still can't get over it. You asking me, Milton Berle, a nothing, to spend a weekend with you, the social Gallops. Mrs. Gallop, I really appreciate it. I said I really appreciate it, Mrs. Gallop.
Come, dear, you can sit up now. We're miles from Park Avenue. None of our friends could possibly see us.
Gee, Mrs. Gallop, I hope after this we see a lot of each other.
Why?
Well, I mean, after this weekend, we're going to be great friends.
You'd better close the window, Frank. I may throw myself out.
You know, Mrs. Gallop, when we get back to New York, I want you to meet my friend.
Oh, goody. It's been years since I've been in night court.
Night court?
Milton, watch where you're driving.
Milton, watch where you're driving. Watch where you're driving. Nag, nag, nag. Da, 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 da. You think I never drove a car before? Quick, somebody, call the smiling Irishman. What happened?
Oh, I meant to tell you, this is the end of the road.
The end of the road?
Yes. Those New Englanders and their sense of humor.
Yeah. They continued the white line right up the cliff. Where's your lodge, Mr. Gallop?
It's right over there. I'll get the shovels and we'll have a jolly time clearing off the driveway.
Frank Gallop, you're not going to wield a shovel like a common laborer.
Oh, Una.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Of course, someone has to clean off the driveway.
Yes, someone has to clean off the driveway.
Yes, someone has to.
Yeah, someone has. Why is everybody looking at me?
Sounds like Uncle Miltie's going to have to get out the shovel, doesn't it? From January 6, 1948, the Milton Berle Show in a salute to winter sports. I'm Wyatt Cox. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. The conclusion comes up next right here on your favorite radio station. Mike Lindell, the inveterate CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Deep discounts on all MyPillow products like the buy one, get one free special on Giza Dream Sheets. All MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty. Call 1-800-951-8175 or go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Use my promo code USA.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a health care plan you don't like, right now is a great time to switch to MediShare. They'll waive your new member fee if you join by January 15th. So that's $170 in addition to all the other savings. The typical family saves $500 or more per month. And MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate when compared to health insurance. Double. Again, join by January 15th and save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of the Milton Berle Show, as it was originally broadcast on January 6th, 1948.
Of course, Mr. Berle, if you don't want to.
Oh, no, Mrs. Gallop. That's silly. I'd love to do it. I insist.
I'll get you a shovel.
No, don't bother. I'll just dig it out with my hands. And what I can't reach, I'll lap up with my tongue. And this was going to be a rest. Oh, brother.
Oh, Mr. Gallop, that was an amusing story. Too bad Milton isn't here to steal it.
Well, I do say, he's been gone 6 hours doing that driveway. There he is.
Goodbye. Hello.
Milton, what happened?
Oh, what I thought was the start of the driveway turned out to be Highway 62. Oh, my back. I'm frozen.
In a minute, we'll have a roaring fire in the fireplace.
A roaring fire.
Just as soon as someone goes out and chops the wood.
I'll go.
Frank Gallop, you're not going to exhaust yourself.
Oh, no.
Of course, someone has to chop the wood.
Yes, someone has to chop the wood.
Yes, someone has. Where's the axe?
I'll show you. This way.
Boy, this is a great rest I'm having.
Here's the axe, Burl. Now chop down this little tree here.
Little? The last time I saw a tree like that, there was a tunnel through it for cars.
Now, you go right ahead, and I'll carry this twig in for kindling. Cheerio.
Cheerio. Where's that axe? All right, here goes. Ow, 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 my leg. Help, help. Open up the door. My leg, my poor leg.
Milton.
My leg, it's off. Help, help.
Milton, shame on you, making Mr. Gallop carrying that twig.
My leg.
Mr. Gallop got a sliver in his finger, look.
Frank, I insist on calling the doctor.
Oh, really? It's nothing.
Milton, isn't Mr. Gallop brave?
Yeah, my leg.
Oh, Frank, that foolish pride of yours, standing there with a sliver in your hand is a... Burl!
Yeah.
You're tracking blood in the house.
Oh, Mr. Gallop, it's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's just a scratch. I'll pick out the fragments and throw them away. Ooh, look at my right foot. I think I chopped 3 toes off.
Good. Now you'll have 5 like everybody else.
Please, no, kid. Now, I'm weak. I need food.
Yes, food. Someone will have to walk 6 miles to town and buy some.
I'll go.
Frank Gallop, I don't want you to go down that lonely mountain road at this time of night.
Why not? Oh. Wolves?
Yes, but they won't attack you unless they're hungry.
That one doesn't sound like he just finished eating at Lindy's, does he?
Well, someone has to go for food.
Yes, someone has to go for food.
Milton.
Yep. I'll hop on one leg. Just open the door and give me a shove. Coming, Mother.
More champagne, Mrs. Berle.
Thank you. I don't understand. Milton was only getting frankfurters and beans, and he's been gone 2 hours.
Heavens, here comes someone staggering through the snow.
Open the door. Open the door. Get away. Open the door. Ow, ow. I made it. I made it. I made it. Here's the food.
Milton, what happened?
Those wolves. It was a nightmare. Look at me. Those wolf bites I can understand, but look at that arrow in my back. Oh, my legs. I can't walk.
Yeah. Oh, grab him. He's fainting.
Lay him down here. Una, get bandages.
Oh, don't worry, Milton. We're going to fix you up.
Yes, Berle, we'll do everything.
Gee, Mrs. Gallop, you're all so wonderful, so friendly.
Chin up, Berle. The only thing that counts now is to get you up on your feet.
It is?
Yes, you forgot the mustard. Someone has to go back to town.
Oh, no.
From January 6, 1948, The Milton Berle Show on Classic Radio Theater.
What does it mean to be an American? Just what are our American values? Working hard to succeed, loving God, country, and family, being honest, strong, and compassionate.
Supporting our Constitution and recognizing that we are blessed to be living in America, the greatest country in the world.
Our Bill of Rights protects us, our freedoms of worship, speech, and privacy, our right to own firearms, our right to trial by jury.
Our right to be free, to live our own lives without some bureaucrat telling us what to do. Most countries don't have these rights.
Want to know more? It's all there in the book. Get your own free book, The U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Then read it again, and this time share it with your friends. Our great Constitution is the basis of all of our freedoms, our inalienable rights. Get your own copy at freeusbook.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Well, now on Classic Radio Theater, we're going to stay on January 6, 1948, an episode of the Coca-Cola-sponsored soap opera Claudia, Married or Not.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia. Claudia, based on the original stories by Rose Franken. Brought to you, transcribed, Monday through Friday, by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Darling, your coffee's all cold.
You really are wifely this morning.
David, do you realize we've been married almost 4 months? Do you think we look married?
Well, certainly we look married.
I mean, do you think a stranger would look at us and say, those two are married?
Any old stranger would. What's the matter? Don't you want to look married?
I guess so.
You only guess so?
Well, I mean, you read all sorts of things about how a wife should keep her husband guessing and act as if she isn't his wife and...
You don't believe in all that sort of stuff, do you?
No, I don't. Do you?
Of course not. It's a lot of balderdash.
So I look just like a wife.
You do?
And you look like just a husband?
Well, it's harder to tell with a man.
Oh, I see.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Now, look, don't get any ideas. You're not much, but you're good enough for me, just the way you are.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And the fact that you look married is nothing to sneeze at. After all, you're going to be a mother.
Who's sneezing? You know, I'd rather be married and live with you and have a baby than not be married at all.
That's comforting.
I even like it when you act like a husband.
I'm glad. I aim to please.
Except sometimes you act like too much like a husband and not enough like...
Like what?
Like not a husband.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yes?
I've filled out the report for the insurance company about that accident you had last Friday, so that takes care of that.
If the insurance company calls, you just tell them to get in touch with me at the office, right?
All right. I don't mind talking to them.
No, I'll handle it.
Well, if you insist. But you're just being like a husband about it.
No other man would be bothered. Here's the form now. You have to sign it before I can send it in.
Doesn't Mr. Grant have to send in a report, too?
Certainly he does. Here, now, you sign right down there. Right there. Now, I'm on my way to the office. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Don't I get a kiss?
A kiss? Oh, yes, kiss. Here.
That kiss was awfully married, too. Bluff, answer that, why don't you lazy old dog? Can't you see I'm darning like a good wife? Shakespeare, what about you, you crazy cat? Honestly, nobody moves around this house but me. Hello? Oh, hello, David. I'm fine. When did you get back from Redbury? Did you have a nice day? Good. How's the car? Did you get a ticket? Well, you know you don't get along as well with cops as I do, but I love you anyway. Yes, lots. That's good. Oh, darling, there's the doorbell. How do I know who it is? Probably some gentleman caller, but I don't know which. Of course I'll give him your love. Goodbye, husband. What? You'll be right home? Wonderful. Goodbye. I'm coming. Bluff, don't you even bark. You're a fine watchdog, you are. Oh.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Mr. Grant.
I was afraid you weren't home.
I'm home.
So I see. My good luck is holding out.
I was on the telephone. I was talking
How's your mother?
to... Mama, she's fine.
And the dog?
Bluff, he's fine, too.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I'm sorry I haven't asked you to come in. Please come in, Mr. Grant.
You remembered my name. I'm very flattered.
Please don't be. I was just signing the accident report this morning, so reminded me.
Oh. As a matter of fact, that's why I dropped in.
Well, do sit down. You might as well since you're here. Shakespeare, get off the good chair. Let Mr. Grant sit there.
Don't disturb him. I'll sit down over here. For the record, my name is Jim Grant, you know.
Oh?
Well, that's my name. Yes. Hiya, boy. Hiya, dog. How you doing, huh? How are you, boy? Yes. Now about this report to the insurance company. I forgot the other day to take the license plate of your car.
You can't take it. We need it.
Well, I just want to borrow the numbers so I can write them down on this form.
Oh, I see.
Well, have you got them?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No. The license plates are on the car, and the car's somewhere between
Well,
here and...
that's wonderful. That's the best news yet.
What is?
Well, just that now I've got another absolutely legitimate reason to come up and visit you. You know, I'm very grateful to you for that smash-up.
You are?
Well, would I be sitting here if you hadn't banged into me?
No, I guess you wouldn't be.
It was a very lucky accident. Probably fate. I haven't met anybody like you in New York. I've met lots of girls, but nobody like you.
Well, don't you want me to sign that insurance report?
Well, there's no point to it as long as you don't have the registration or license number.
Well, they'll be here any minute.
Oh, they will?
Look, I don't want you to think that
Now, look here. I saw right away you weren't, that kind of girl. I'm not picking you up. I never picked up anyone.
But you see, I am...
Wait a minute. You're not engaged, are you?
No, I'm not engaged.
Well,
but
as long as you're not officially engaged, my bid is in. All's fair in love and war.
Don't I look married to you?
Married? What would I be doing here if I thought you looked married?
Then I don't.
Anything but. You look wonderful.
Well, can't you look married and wonderful?
I suppose so, but I think marriage always shows.
You do? How?
Well, it's nothing in particular, just something a man feels. Instinct, I guess you'd call it. Claudia, may I call you Claudia? I've met your mother, you know. Don't you think she'd approve of me as a gentleman caller?
You see, I don't... The doorbell.
Do you want me to answer?
No, I'll go. Look, I have to tell you...
Well, whoever it is wants to get in very badly.
Yes, I'm here. But first I
Well,
must
don't you
tell
answer the doorbell around here?
Oh, all right, I'm coming.
If you won't let me in, I'll just have to let myself in.
David.
Is the lady of the house home?
I'm home.
Miss Claudia, it's your gentleman caller.
Well, maybe, maybe I'm in the way.
Too late.
I've come a-courting with some poses for the woman I love.
Hello, David.
Hello, honey. Well, hello.
Good afternoon.
David, this is Miss...
I'm Jim Grant. Glad to meet you. I look like the first of a long line.
Well, honey, you all's having a busy afternoon, huh?
David, please be serious.
Claudia, would you rather I stayed or I went?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, don't go because of me, Mr. Grant.
Jim, please don't pay any attention to him. He's not that southern usually.
Oh, he isn't?
You're happy tootin' I'm not. Just want to come to call on my young lady here.
Oh, I see.
David, will you be sensible?
Mr. Grant, this young woman here is already spoken for. As a matter of fact, and this may be something of a blow to you, I know it is to me, Claudia is married.
It's true. I tried to tell you, but you seemed so sure I wasn't that I...
Married? Well, you didn't look... Well, in that case, Mr.
Norton.
Mr. Norton, how come that you... Norton?
That's right. I'm the lucky man.
Well, I'll be.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here. I wouldn't have come in like that.
Oh, please don't apologize. It's I who
Oh,
should have...
not at all. I understand Claudia bumped into your car and pretty well wrecked it.
Well, it's not that serious.
I think you're being very nice about it. I would have been furious.
Well, there's no point in getting angry, and Claudia, I mean, Mrs. Norton seemed so upset that...
Well, at any rate, I've reported it to my insurance company. We made out the forms this morning, and as soon as you make your claim, it'll all be settled.
Well, certainly, of course. I hope you didn't mind my coming up here today.
If nobody minds my saying something, David, Mr. Grant came up here for me to sign something or other. His report or something.
Darling, you don't have to sign his, you see. You signed yours this morning.
Well, frankly, Mr. Norton, I couldn't think of a better reason to come up here, and... That was before I knew.
Of course. You know, Mr. Grant, I look at you and I can say, there, but for the grace of me, go I.
David, you're not making sense.
Certainly I am. You know what I mean, don't you, Mr. Grant?
I think I do.
After all, there's not much difference between taking a cinder out of a girl's eye on a street corner and having a girl crash into your car in a parking lot, is there?
No, not much difference. Except that, in this case, the cinder came first.
My point? Exactly.
Well, that was lucky for you. I guess I'll make a point from now on of walking the streets when the cinders are flying. Bye, Mrs. Norton. And it's been nice meeting you, Mr. Norton. All the luck in the world to you.
And don't think I'm not going to need it.
Goodbye, Jim.
And, Jim.
Yes?
When you find that girl with a cinder in her eye, bring her up to visit us.
I will. I'd love to. I'll remember the invitation. Mr. Norton, your wife is quite a girl. Quite a girl. Very beautiful, too. Goodbye.
Darling, you do run into the nicest people.
You're not angry, David?
No.
Aren't you even jealous?
No, just flattered. It's not every husband who has a wife other men want. He thinks you're beautiful and attractive and... the poor devil.
I don't care what he thinks. What do you think?
Do I have to tell you, darling?
It's nice to hear, David.
For a future mother, it's almost indecent, the way you look.
But how? How do I look?
Come here. Come over here and sit down on the sofa, and I'll tell you.
Oh, David. That kiss wasn't as if we were married at all. Oh, it made me feel like a wicked woman.
This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney. Marketing takes more time than it used to, and a little more headwork, too, if you're trying to keep within a budget. But the daily chore will be less of a bore if you look for the familiar red cooler and pause there for ice-cold Coca-Cola. Spend 5 minutes and 5 cents, and you'll finish your marketing refreshed. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir, and remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For ice-cold Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes.
And the valuable lessons sat out always make your wife feel like you love her. January 6, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater. Do us a favor and please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we come around. Alrighty, and visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and you can contact me there, classicradio.stream. And remember, our programs are available anywhere podcasts are served. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great day, won't you please? I'm Wyatt Cox. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on your radio dial. Classic Radio Theater right here on your favorite radio station.